This is my stitch ripping video, and what I do in this video is I talk about the blade on the stitch ripper being right in there on the inside of the U shape there. And what I ended up ripping the stitches off of was the jean yoke, the left yoke and the right yoke, and I'm going to be using these denim ones as templates to make my muslin yokes. You know, you watched the last video, you saw me making the pants and putting the pockets on, and I still have to put some pockets on, like the front left pocket, and do the back of the pants work. But that's what this video is about. I'm going to explain how the stitch ripper works by ripping out the stitches on the yokes, and then I iron the yokes so they're nice and flat so I can use them as a template for my for the muslin yokes that I'm going to cut out. So you know, if you'll pardon the pun, there's lots of yoking around here today. I know, I'm a natural. So if you want to rip stitches, this is how you do it. You have to, the blade, the actual point of the blade is like, not the point, but the actual blade that cuts the stitches is right in there. So I just wanted to give you a close-up look of it because in other parts of the video you can't see that. It's right in there. And this ball, this little red ball, is to protect the cloth that you're trying to rip apart. If you go in there with a sharp point, it'll cut right into the cloth. So you got to go in there with the ball, and you got to hold it firmly. Like you have to practice it a little bit, and then you have to hopefully get it started and use the momentum to rip into it. So there, that's what I just ripped. And then I've got this one here on this side, right? And I want to rip it as well. And you have to kind of get it started, like you have to have a place where you can stick that little ball in, because it's, you know, it's bigger than a needle, the ball, the little red ball. So I'm just pulling some stitch up to get it loose so I can have enough room to get the ball and the blade that is inside the U. So I got it started, so I'll just take this sharp point, get it in there. Okay, so that's open. Do I have enough to get the ball in there? I don't think so. So I'll do a bit more. Here, I got to aim the camera better. Methinks. There we go. I'm trying to get in a position so my hands aren't blocking out what I'm trying to show you. Because when I look at some of my videos, it's like, oh, you did a great video, except they can't see because your thumb's in the way, your hand's in the way. So I've got some there. Okay, so I've got enough now that I should be able to separate it like that and get the ball in and then rip right into it. It does take a bit of pressure, especially with denim. And you'll be able to hear it. Like that was a stitch ripping. Like there's a bit of a knack to it. But if you can get it started and keep the momentum going, then you can do that. And the reason I'm doing this is because this is the yoke, and I want to get it off because as I continue along after the video that I just posted, I want to attach a muslin, I want to cut a muslin yoke and attach it to the muslin pant side, just started putting together with the watch pocket and the front right pocket. So there, I got some more. So I'm like almost got the whole yoke off now. And that's a felt seam or French seam or whatever. It's doubled over and it's all locked on itself so that it can't be compromised, so that it's safe and secure. And then I sometimes cheat and use the pointy end when I've got enough that I can see that I can get in there. Okay, there. And I just want to rip stitches, not the cloth. Well, this I don't really, I'm not going to use this denim again. But still, it's better to do it the way it's intended to be done. And when you're using that point, you really want to keep it away from your fingers and your skin, because it'll slice. It won't be gentle, it'll go in deep. Like you'll be using rubbing alcohol. Because I've done it. So at this point, if you'll pardon the pun, I could probably use scissors. So there, and you can see all the orange torn stitches there. So I'm going to clean that out with the seam ripper. And once you get it out, look at that. You know, it's just, it comes off like butter. It's like spreading butter almost. So that's going to be the yoke that I trace onto muslin and use on the pair of jeans I'm working on. Muslin jeans. Cool, huh? That's it. Short video. It helped me. Hope it helps you too. Have fun. Stay safe, have fun. Ciao for now. And now here's this one. I had already done part of this before. So, whoops, that's the leg. I'd already done part of this before. So here we go. I'm gonna get the ball and the blade in there. And you can even do it like a stitch at a time. You don't have to run it right across and do it all like I was doing there. If it's hard like this. They just do a few at a time. Now I should be able to run it. If I can anchor it enough. See, and I did hear it. You can hear them rip, right? So you can just do it kind of like piecemeal if you have to. But even if you work doing that, eventually you might get it to the point, you should be able to get it to the point where you can run it. Well, look at that. It's even just coming apart now. And there's the other yoke that I'm going to use as a template on the muslin. And you can see there I put on that one piece of painter's tape that says left, and on this one I'll put a piece of painter's tape that says right. I'm just pulling out some of the loose stitches, the loose orange thread, just kind of scraping it out, and then I'll turn it over and use the point just to kick the thread out. And then just use my fingers because it's pretty loose. And I think, I'm speculating, that because these were made at the factory, the stitch that they used may have not been a lock stitch, it may have been a chain stitch. And by design, when you release some chain stitch, it's really easy to get the rest of the chain stitch out. And now, and they're going to go like that, right? Yeah. So now I'll get a piece of tape, painter's tape, because, you know, I've been taking jeans apart and I sometimes end up with a bunch of parts. So I've had to start labeling them so I know what is what. And then I'll just clean that up a little. So that's how I'm kind of getting ready for my next video, because doing the yoke will be part of my next video when I put the back legs together. So there you go. I had fun. Hope y'all did too. And here's another part of my next video that I'm going to be working on. This is the left front pocket. There's no watch pocket on it. And okay, it came off a pair of Levi's jeans. And it says here for over 140 years. So these are, I think now you buy a pair of Levi's jeans, it says 150 years or 155 or something. I'm not sure. So these are like, you know, 10 or maybe 15 or 20 years old or something. But, and you can see the serging and the stitching. So this is right up my alley because I just did the right front pocket. Now I want to measure that. So when you fold it over, it's about 7 inches. So if you multiply that by 2, 7 will give you 14 inches, right? And then if you do it down here, okay, this is a little shorter than 11 or 12 inches. It's about 10, well, 10 and 3/8 or something. It's a little more than a quarter, but less than a half. So I'll just say 10 and a half. What is it over here? It's even shorter, 9 inches. Because that's folded over. There's the fold. There's serging there. There isn't any here. Here it's just top stitch. Let's pull this inside out. See what we can. Well, okay, here we go. Here. Well, there certainly is a bit of fluff, and that always happens. No matter how much you wash your jeans, that piece of fluff always gets trapped down inside the point of the pocket. So, in preparation for my next video, I'm just going to quickly press these back yokes to flatten out the seam allowances that they had sewn on. Because when I put it on the muslin, I want it to go on nice and flat, so I can get, you know, a somewhat accurate measurement, right? And now I'll do that one. There, that looks nice. That's the left one. And that's the right one. So they'll go on something like that. But only mine will be in muslin. Okay, that's it. So there we go. Here we are at the end of this video about ripping the stitches out of the yokes. Hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed making this video, and I'm looking forward to using these denim yoke templates now in the next video to cut out the yokes, and also in the next video I'll be doing the back of the legs, and that will entail you know, putting on the back pockets. So, but anyway, thanks for stopping in. Hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed making it, and you make sure you take care of yourselves and have fun. We'll chat again soon, my friends. Adios, amigos.